Well, it's a brand new season of Marawa TV. It's a brand new season of Thursday Night Live. And of course, completely new setting because we're going to keep surprising you every Thursday. We'll take our shirts off, we'll take our jackets off, and we'll come and relax and give you some of the best television and interviews one-on-one that you can ever imagine. Now, don't forget, when it comes to subscribers, just go for that click. Click. Be a subscriber. Be part of the family. Don't be shy to do that. Give us a nice thumbs up. Give us that like. Continue telling the families across the African continent and the world what we are all about. And if you're wondering where I am right now, very rarely do people, including heads of states, ever get to walk in glory and be surrounded in the shroud in this museum, in this achievement hall. And that is exactly where this man resides every single day. And for over 2 decades, he's been here. His life, his history is all encapsulated right here. And I'm talking about none other than Jomo Sono, the legend himself. In his own house. We've invaded him. Baba, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey, finally we make this happen.
Yeah.
Hey? I mean, sometimes when you're just here and you getting a sense of your achievements, because the world knows you as that great football player.
Yeah.
What makes you proud about being here in this space?
Well, especially in this place, Rob, I decided to have my own small museum because of when we pass on, we need to leave something for our children. Cuttings in the papers won't matter, because you might lose the paper, you might lose whatever, but you cannot lose this. My great children will always say our grandfather was a good sportsman and through hard work. All this is through hard work, and I'm very proud because I used to work hard. Even now I still work hard. Always in football, running, coming to you. Even when I was coming here, our appointment was 1 o'clock. I had to change it because the team is playing tomorrow. I had to be here. But it's what I love.
Yeah.
Still passionate about it. I said in one of the interviews with you, the day I will stop football is the day when I lose passion. I'm still waiting. I'm still passionate as the first day when I started playing football for Orlando Pirates when I was 15.
That is crazy, because when I was looking through your museum here, the one thing I wanted to ask you is, do you even remember what was the first trophy, the first medal, the first anything that you were given for your achievement that lies somewhere here?
To be honest, Rob,
You don't even know?
I don't remember. The only thing which I might remember during those days was when, during apartheid, was the first time when I was honored and inducted to the Hall of Fame of apartheid. That's the only thing I remember.
But how did you feel about that, though? Because it's,
I
as you
didn't
say,
feel good.
apartheid.
I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
But, sometimes we have to do certain things to open doors. Sometimes you have to do certain things to show the white regime that we're good enough. The fact that they took a black person and put him in the Hall of Fame during the apartheid era, it was a door opener to say blacks can do it.
It's almost like a conundrum, because the man who lived down the street from you, the late Nelson Mandela, a lot of woke people these days, they talk about him and say he was a sellout. But obviously those are people that don't know the history of the man. Did you somehow feel or got accused of being a sellout for accepting being in the Hall of Fame in the apartheid era?
Not really. I felt South Africa needed role models like Mandela, the Jomo Sono of this world. Because if we had said, not well, we're not progressing. Because their motto was, black people cannot play football. Black people cannot be sports people. So if you, the apartheid holder, appoint a black person, a black soccer player into a Hall of Fame, now we are telling them that no, they can. That's what you are telling the world, that they can play.
And you talk about the world. I see the great Pele. Everybody talks about Pele, the Brazilian Pele, the best footballer in the world. Maybe there's still a debate as to whether he was the greatest, Diego Maradona was the greatest, whether it was a George Best, whoever it is. Hey, that's football, that's debates. Everyone's debating about Ronaldo, Messi, etc. But here you are. I mean, you're posing with them like, I can claim one day to pose next to Jomazon. But he was your teammate. Did you know the aura of this man? How was that relationship like?
Yeah, it's so funny because when I was still growing up, my dream was to play with Pele.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember when I was young, in this, I think it was '68, Pele came for the first time in Africa, and Santos went to play in Mozambique. And you won't believe we went to Mozambique, me and my teammates. We hiked until we got to Mozambique. And I only got a glimpse of Pele because we couldn't get tickets. The only time I saw Pele was when he was getting off the bus.
Wow.
Into the dressing room. We couldn't get in because it was packed. But the fact that I saw him walking, I said, I want to be like him. I want to play like him. One day, I will play with this guy.
And that's amazing though, because not only did you get to play alongside him, you got to share a dressing room with him. We all wore the boots. Puma's been part of your family for a long time. He had boots, Pele. And then you went on to have your troublemakers and everything else. I mean, didn't that say something, like, for somebody back in those days, to have the biggest brand in the world, have that much confidence in you, to actually name a boot after you?
Yeah, to me, Rob, even now, it's still a dream.
Yeah.
You know, everything about my career as a footballer is still a dream. You know, maybe this dream will fade the day I die. I'm still dreaming.
Wow.
I'm still dreaming even now. I'm still dreaming a lot for Jomo Cosmos now. But before, my dreams was about me. Now it's about my team. And the young players which I'm bringing up, I have so much dreams for them, you know. I would like to see them one day before Messi retires, that one of the Cosmos players plays with Messi, you know, or against him.
Yeah, well, against him would be good. Talking about your team, you've always bragged about relegation, then promotion. Relegation, then promotion. Relegation, then promotion, and so on. These are NFD trophies. National First Division trophies, Glad Africa Championship, as it's called now. And you've talked about the history behind it. You being in the record books for relegating and promoting the most number of times. We get worried though, when you look at the log table and we say, what if he drops one down?
Can I pose a question for you?
Please.
If I drop one down, where am I dropping? In the sea? What's happening there where I drop down?
Kicking a ball.
So I'm still in football. And I won't drop down. Cosmos will never drop down.
Ever.
No.
Even this season.
No, even this season. Even this season now. Because you see, the problem is that some of us in football or in business, we don't share our business plan publicly. I knew that Cosmos won't go up. Even now I knew Cosmos can go up. Not with the players we've got.
Not good enough?
No, not good enough. And very young. I mean, I can show you one example. We're leading 2-0 against JDR. We hit a post to make it a third one. Boom, boom, 4-2. Not experience.
Yeah.
To manage a lead. They can't. People can say, hey, coach, but you are leading 2-0.
Yeah.
The coach has done a job.
Yeah.
But the people inside there are supposed to manage that 2-0. They couldn't. They defended too deep, and then they started. You can't defend too deep for 45 minutes. Not possible.
But would you ever come back though? I mean,
I will come back.
to the Premier Soccer
Oh yeah,
League?
definitely.
How many years from now?
You can vouch. Next year I'll be back. If I don't, I'll retire.
Next year you'll be back.
Yes. Not me.
2021 season,
Yeah.
2021, 22,
Yeah, we'll be back.
you'll be back. And if you don't come back, you will retire.
I retire.
As a coach.
As a coach and everything.
You'll retire as a coach.
Yeah, and as a bus driver, everything.
The photocopier. I mean, this is history, guys. This is history, and I'm gonna challenge him further Because I'm tired of standing. Let's go and have a sit down. We're going to have a sit down with Jomosono. Man, we'll tell you about some of these achievements, including Order of Ikamanga, the president bestowing him. That's one of the highest honors ever. So we're going to go chill. Join us. All right, back seated, as I promised you. So many stories to be told, the legacy, the man, stuff that we don't even know. He says if they're not back by the end of next season, he will retire. I need to interrogate that slightly more because retiring could either mean so many different things. Is he going to stop coaching? Is he going to retire from football altogether? Is he going to sell the status? I don't know. Jomosono, as we sit down now, feels much better sitting. When you say
Especially
retire,
at my age here.
very young age. When you talk about retirement, is that you coaching the team, or what is
Yes,
it?
me coaching the team.
You'll still be in charge. You're not going to sell the team.
No, I can't sell the team. I can't sell my soul. If I sell Cosmos, I'm selling my soul.
Then who will coach?
I've already earmarked somebody from outside who will work with the coaches I'm grooming here. I'll be involved as a chairman, but I won't stop scouting for players because that's a gift from God. And if I stop scouting, just looking at kids, giving them an opportunity, I don't think it would be fair to the other generation that is coming up. So I'll stop completely from coaching if Cosmos don't go up.
But if they go up, then you will continue coaching.
I'll still be there for another year or two, maybe.
Will there be a foreign coach? Will it be a local coach? I mean, who's the guy that you've earmarked?
There'll be two, a foreign who's been a close friend of mine for years, and a South African. So, but when the time comes, I'll decide. It's
Are they
between the
currently
two.
part of the setup?
One is part of the setup. One is coaching some of the national teams in Africa.
During the reign of Roy Matthews, and you would know, and I'm sorry to compare, but when you look at Jomo Cosmos winning the league championship, Jomo Cosmos winning Bob Save Super Bowl, Coca-Cola Cup, you were a trophy team. Did that desire, what happened to that desire that you had and the passion to win those trophies to where you are now?
A lot of things in life, they change, you know. If you look at our shape of the body, when we grow, the body changes. The teeth, they are 32. All of a sudden, you don't have 32, you have 25. So there's a change in everything in life, including business. So there was a lot of changes. You know, we lost a lot of players, some of the players, because we couldn't compete with the bigger guns who have money. They bought our players. I mean, if you look around during that time, after when we beat Pitso Msimani in the cup in Petersburg on penalties, a lot changed because SuperSport had money. They took Marikaki, they took Morgan Gold, you know, and we lost Anthony Lafaux. All of them had to go because we couldn't compete financially. And our business planners, if we get an opportunity that we can sell a player, we sell, and then we groom the other players. We keep with that money, we maintain the academy, which we've done. You know, our academy is still strong. I mean, they just came back now, my under-20, from Spain, where they won a cup final. In Spain, they beat Valencia in the final 2-1. Nobody even knows that the under-20 from South Africa beat teams in Spain to win the tournament. So my heart is mainly on kids, but at the same time to win trophies. But if we don't win them, if we sell one player per year, we're happy. But we haven't sold any player overseas for quite a long time. We've been losing them here in South Africa because of the pre-contract. And you cannot control that as well.
But do you feel that you've lost your grip in terms of that? I know that it's illegal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
because
have.
Jomo Sono was the one who would be talked about when it comes to whether it's a Mark Fish or Phil Masinga. You know, some of the big names that went to ply their trade overseas, people you've scouted. You've seen Asizwe Mtaung as well. You know, people that you're able to get together. I mean, there's a gazillion names. There was a time that almost 89% of Bafana Bafana players that started a game came through your hands.
Yeah, internationally, yes. But locally, we haven't.
Yeah.
You go to Paris, there's Linda Mtambo. You go to Chipa, there's Mazia who's busy scoring goals. You go to Super Sport, there's the right back, Sia. You go to Sundowns, there's Anthony Lafaux.
Yeah.
You go to Highlands Park, you go to any team, there's a player that comes from Cosmos. I don't know what it is, but 90% of the teams playing in the Premier League, you go to Vet. There's Munare there. There's the left back, Nonyane.
Yes.
There. Any team you go to, there's a player who's been coached and trained and groomed at Cosmos. So internationally, yes, but locally, we're still the best.
Spraying them around.
Yeah, we're still the best in spraying them around. You go to Chipa, there's a Frederick now, where it is supposed he's going to Pirates, it's not going, the centre half. So any team, even if you go to NFD, the boy scored the last goal against us, who I rate him highly, but I had to lose him because of the demands. He's a class player, Vos something.
Yeah.
He's class. You know, even NFD, there's my players. But we want to stop that maybe for a year and a half, so that 2021 we're back. 2021, 22.
22, yeah, 100%. And I think we'll hold you up to that.
Yes, you can. I'm saying it publicly.
Yeah. We'll hold you to that. You will retire, resign, whichever the word is.
Not resign. I can't. Jomo Sono can't resign from Jomo Sono. It's
As
not
a
possible.
coach. As a coach. As a coach. The failures, because, and I know that you don't listen to the noise. Your path was carved out because of who you are. But when the criticism keeps mounting,
I don't mind that.
you know, why don't you just give up this coaching thing? Why does Jomo insist on coaching when
Why
he could
should
be
I?
having somebody else?
Why should somebody else?
Yeah,
How many coaches is the merry-go-round here in South Africa?
too many.
So why should I go and lose weight and come back and coach Cosmos? Because that's what is happening. It's just a Mickey Mouse. The whole thing is a Mickey Mouse. Coach is going there, suspended. He comes there, 2 games, 3 games, suspended. I have a track record. I'm still producing players. Those coaches who are doing merry-go-round, let them give you 1 player they've produced. The team might not be doing well, but on the other side, the business plan is doing well with producing players. If in life you're going to sit and listen to criticism, you'll go nowhere. The easiest and the best coach in the world is an armchair. Those people who are doing nothing, they just sit there and say, "Hi, Magahambe. Hi, Maga." When he's gone, who's leading Kaizer Chiefs now?
Middleton.
Where was he before? Where was he fired? By the fans.
Yeah.
At Chiefs.
Yeah.
He's back again now. So what's the use of changing coaches here, especially here? In South Africa, changing of coaches, come on, it's a joke. It's a big, big, big joke here.
But why is that the case, though? I mean, there was a time, and you would imagine, whether it was still Mario Tuane or Brian Goldrick or any of the coaches that used to be in charge, Joe Frickleton, you name them, there was a level of consistency. When Eddie Lewis as well came to be in charge, there was a level of consistency. Why is it so easy for Kevin Johnson to go to Black Leopards, be there for 5 days or 5 games, and then find himself out of a job because he's only got 1 point, as what they're saying, and is gone?
I think the issue there, Rob, it's a pressure. You know, the pressure of losing the grant in the Premier League. You know, if you lose your status, you go down there, you come and join us, you get 500,000, you're in trouble. You were getting 1.5, 1.8 million, 2 million, you're in trouble now. because all those players have got contracts. You have to get rid of them, all of them, and start afresh.
But isn't that the problem, though? You talk about the grant. So instead of playing the football that you were able to play, whether you're playing at Cleveland's, whether you're playing at Hartley Vale, wherever you were playing for the jersey and for the heart and for the fans. Now it sounds like they're playing to avoid being relegated. They're playing for the money that's going to come in. Surely that's not football. That belongs in a casino. That's gambling.
Yeah, but the demands are too high. You have to maintain your status, because why I talk of demands being too high? The salaries of players, vis-a-vis our salary, I was getting 200 rand per week. You know, by luck, if I get it. Sometimes I might just go for a month without getting it. But we didn't mind that. But I said to you when I started in your interview, things change. You know, you find a guy like Billiard rumored to be earning 500,000 per month, 800,000 per month. So times have changed.
And
They
what
are
do you
right
get?
to get that money.
Right. Let's not take anything away from
Yeah,
Billiards.
it's right.
Let's not take anything away
Yeah.
from any other player that is currently playing. What do you earn in the first division? Before Glad Africa came, were you not earning 350,000
Yes,
to win
yeah,
for 30 games?
yes.
But one player can earn 500,000. I mean, surely that already tells you a story that the indiscrepancy is there, that the priorities are not there. People love to watch NFT. You know, it's a national first division. They love the quality that comes out from there. But if you're playing for grants, then God grant me the serenity.
Yeah, but well, what can you do? You know, we have the board that decides, and they don't decide on their own. They sit in that meeting and get vote over vote. See a vote. Yes. So I think we cannot blame them. If they come with a proposal on the table and in a board meeting and the majority vote for that, then who do you blame? Can't blame anybody. It means we are happy with the status quo. We're happy, so we have to carry on and try and fight and get to the Premier League.
But
It's
come on.
not easy.
Are we winning the battle in football to be better? Are we a better football product?
There's a lot that I can sit here with you for 2 days, you know, and discuss football with the experience I have. I can give you one example. The attendance at the games. Be it Premier League, they go for Chiefs and Sundowns, Pirates and Sundowns, and that's it. The rest is nothing.
Yeah.
Empty, and Venda as well.
Yeah.
You know. But you ask yourself a question. Cricket is getting closer to us. Rugby getting very, very close to us. We are still stagnant in the sense that FIFA said in 2010, do this, no main curtain raiser, do no curtain raiser. So you expect me, a family man, I go to church, my church is Orlando East, Orlando Pirates is playing. I live here. The church finishes at 12. Now I have to come home. And then 3 o'clock, my team is playing, I have to go back to Orlando. The petrol, the time on the road. Because FIFA said nothing must happen, we're still sticking to that time of the FIFA, but we are no longer in FIFA now. We should turn this thing into a family thing. People are not coming to the game because they sit there the whole day looking at the grass.
But rugby was able to do that the other week.
Yes, no.
They had a superhero doubleheader. That was
we should be doing it.
Yeah.
I think SAFA should write to FIFA to say your World Cup is gone past. Now it's finished the World Cup. Can we have main curtain raisers? We have women's soccer. We have junior soccer. We have multi-choice. Multi-choice is free. So why don't you take that multi-choice and say, okay, this week they can play, multi-choice will play Cosmos is playing so and so. Multi-choice can play from. They finish at 2.
Yeah.
They finish at 1.
As a curtain raiser.
As a curtain raiser and then out. And I raised this issue one time with Professor Schloss. And he said, the grass, I said, Jesus Christ, we were playing in the same grass. Unless this grass has changed. You know, can't we just turn this thing into a family? Let's leave the grant. Let's forget about the grant, because maybe we are lazy to do something because we're getting enough grant. You know, it's too much grant. So we don't care whether people come or they don't come. We have played the game, we care. It hurts us to see the stadiums being empty. It hurts badly. When I was playing, at 11 o'clock, the stadiums were full. Because it was a family sport. Now it's no longer a family sport. So maybe the leadership should sit together and say, but 2010 is long gone. Now we are in 2020, 10 years ago. We're still listening to what FIFA says. Can't we play the kids? What can the kids do to the grass, for God's sake?
Chippies Little League.
Chippy League. What can they do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Until 1:30. And then they can go off the pitch. They say, no, but it takes long. Yeah, I say it doesn't take long because they just walk to the dressing room and change, finish. Does it? So if we can get the leadership to understand, we need the seats. I'm a footballer. Every day in the morning, when I was going to play for Pirates, when I was going to play for Cosmos, the moment I see the stadiums full, I want to play. Because you cannot disappoint 50,000 people. You want to play. Your blood is, you just want to play. But now there's 2,000 people, the big stadium in Polokwane, big. It's like there's nobody. You know, and you can't blame the TV for hiding the other parts and showing where the people are. The stadium is supposed to show everybody like they do it overseas. We tend to compare ourselves too much to westernized football, to say, but they don't have this in Liverpool. That is a different. Liverpool is playing in Liverpool. Manchester is playing in Manchester. Tickets are sold 2 years before. So they don't have a problem. They don't need main curtain raiser. They don't need it because people have got their own tickets, so they can come at their own time. But I think here we should turn it into a family like cricket and rugby. We saw rugby. Rugby went in the middle of Soweto and turned it into a family affair. I think the leadership should look into turning it into a family. You go to Durban, there's a Derby, Arrows, and Amazulu. Come on. You know, me, I'm just talking about football because I'm a football person. I mean, I don't want to get into politics. You know, you never win in politics. I'd rather talk about what I see. People are not coming to the game. You cannot tell me there are no exciting players. Yeah, I mean, you look at this boy playing for Sundowns Zwane. Sundowns without Zwane, they struggle. I would also try and play against them without him. But when Zwane is back, then you see, I don't know why, you see a big difference. Yeah. So people have heroes who can bring people into the stadium. I remember one time he nutmegged the guy from Polokwane right to the corner. That was the best one. Yeah. And the guy fell on his face, you know. So let us try and make it a family sport. Let's go back to that time.
But you were talking about the quality of the players. It was going to lead to me asking, is that the reason why then we don't get players going to play for big countries overseas? You were a prime example. Kaizer Mdawo was a prime example. The SWAT Meteor was a prime example. But now you're not getting that. You know, we're not getting a Piri going to play, Lecheto going to Russia. We're not getting guys going to Turkey, whether it was Debza, Fani Madida, you name them. They were going overseas. You had Doctor, whether he was playing in Argentina, whether he was playing for Colorado, whatever it was, they were going outside of the country. Fish, Masinga, Stephen Pinar, Sean Bartlett, they were going overseas. Now, yes, Percy Tau has gone. He was going to go to Brighton, but then Brighton loaned him up so they can go play. And what has happened has been a dream for him because now he can go to the Bernabeu, he can go to Stade de France and play for Club Brugge. But he can't just be the only one. What's happened to the, I mean, how you're able to name from the old school, but now it's difficult. Why?
The hunger is not the same anymore. There are not too many players who are hungry enough. There are not too many players now who have dreams of going to play overseas. There's not too many. And I think some of them was the issue of they have everything here. You're getting a salary of 800,000. So why should I go to Europe and get cold? Why should I go there and be homesick? I have to communicate. So, you know, the shopping centers, there's too many shopping centers. After this training, I run to this mall, I walk across the mall, they must see me. Theirs is no longer about dreaming to play overseas. They've hit the roof. Magajoini center, social city, that is why when you go to shopping centers, you find all of them, most of the players wearing tracksuits, but they are not playing. They are not playing abadlali sebajoyina lama team for ama-tracksuit nje manje ukuthi eyi mangashaya i-tracksuit e-Pirates ngihambe emall ngithola abantwana aba-1 or 2 ngishap. Why must I go overseas? Overseas ngeke athole umuntu. Uthola abantu kuphela.
Pushiman.
Athole umuntu.
Yeah.
So unama cell phone i6, it doesn't need to go overseas. Unalezi into lezi ulalela music emotweni yakhe ipika lezi enkulu lezi asendlini mara uzifake ubhuti. So why must he go overseas? There's no need for him to go overseas. He's happy here.
Yeah.
You know.
But
And
that's short term.
the only time I regret is when you retire.
When the stuff is gone.
When the money is gone now, ngabe ngayaphisha. You know, I remember I was watching a Bertrand video, Black 11 against Argentina.
Yes.
I saw what Shaka Ngobo did, and I used to talk about that thing all the time because he was the best at it.
Yeah.
And he did it twice. Uthe mayenza kwesi-3 i-Argentina like ijimalayele yena waphuma emva kwakhe. You never see those things. Some of the players like Oboshaka, teenage lad, you know, Weftal, they were not fortunate enough to go overseas. Those were not the material. But now there's a few you can pick. Maybe that is why maybe you find that the national team is struggling because we don't have too many players going overseas. 96, 98, 2000, 2003, players were playing overseas. I mean, the two best midfielders go 2003 World Cup, Tebogo Mokoena no Keto Sbaye, they were in the World 11.
Yeah.
But selected those two midfielders. Abafana baselokishini labo bangene ku-World 11. It's a dream come true. But how many of them are dreaming of going into the world? You cannot go to the World 11 udlala, no chance. Because la kungena le coach isathi salungisa iyaqoshwa. Kufuneka uqale phansi futhi manje ulalele le coach uza ngama methods akhe. So also the players can't grow. Because this coach is gone, this coach is coming, this coach maybe is going. They can't focus. They cannot grow quickly. I mean, you look at the Black Leopards, they have a player there. But Ukapinga, you know, Ukapinga had signed for me.
And?
He had signed for Ikozo, but we couldn't get the clearance. We were late to the clearance. I mean, that kid is special.
I can finish.
They have Amazulu. There's players here who should go overseas now.
Yeah.
They have the boy Amazulu Rasta.
Oh, yeah.
Udlala mid-league. I mean, that kid, uyambona ukuthi is a good player, but
Step.
he's not properly coached.
Yeah.
Because ugcwala yonke ground. I keep it to a system team. But you could see the energy, the work rate.
Ntuli. I mean, Ntuli is
Ntuli.
yeah.
Also, they have a left back, they go Pirates. Lighter complexion boy. Right back, they go Pirates. Pirates yamlona kaMazulu. Usaselapho nama.
Yeah.
Because Arrows before.
Rose, yes, Ngiyambona, yeah.
Very good kid.
Yeah, yeah.
But they need to move out.
But they don't.
Too much comfort zone. But they must get out there and move on. Even if it's a second division, Go. You learn so much because there it's full time. Yonke into overseas count, they've got
Professional.
It's professional.
But the women are doing better than the guys.
Now the women are moving. Bonke bayahamba, one
And they're
by
not
one.
even a professional setup.
Yes. La we believe ukuthi ma uthola 100,000 it's life. It's not life.
Yeah.
Because once you stop playing, you have to service that 100,000. Uzoyisevisa ngani ngoba una business awuna nix. So uyodla kuyo in 2 years eseyiphelile you have nothing. You have nothing. Not all of us can be successful trainers, successful club owners, successful businessmen. Not all of us. The bridge is too narrow. Ngeke sidlule sonke lapha. Ama-club owners mangabheka manje abadlala ibhola, maybe it's myself and Kaiser.
Yeah.
Maybe. And how many of us have played? It's not. We can't. Not all of us will go through. It's not possible.
Because while you talk that comparison of who's played and who's been a successful businessman, it maybe leads me to even asking you to say that you have the best fit of playing, success, growth, international, local, scout, all of those things fall into your lap. When people talk about leadership, from an association perspective, SAFA president of the future, would we ever see Jomosono going for that office? Because something needs to happen.
I would like to.
Would you like to be SAFA president?
I would like to one day. You know, it's my dream. If it's possible, I would like to one day to be a SAFA president.
What's stopping you?
Cosmos.
But you're going to retire from that.
Yeah. When I retire, yes.
Yeah.
I would love to go under Danny's wings for quite some time, learn the trade, and then when he retires, because I would have retired, he also has to retire somehow. So I would like to be the SAFA president because I think with the little knowledge I have, and having served as a technical guy at FIFA for so many years, you know. Also serving Kuma World Cup as a technical, I think I have a rough idea of how to run football, but not now. In future, I would love to end my career as a SAFA president.
But how soon from now?
After I retire, I'll start joining any association, work under association, work with them gradually until I get to the top.
The need and the desire to want to shadow Danny Jordan, for me, I can admire that, right? But in the same breath, I would say, how about a fresh approach? Would that not sit well with you so that you can shadow somebody and say, okay, here's my parking lot, here is where you sit, this is the coffee machine. That's wonderful. But in terms of ideas and what you want to bring onto the table, surely you want a fresh approach.
For now, you know, my plan is not to go that direction. You know, as I said, when I retire 2022, that's when I want to start thinking about it. I mean, I've served under top chairmen in the PSL. You know, I've served under Taunyan, I've served under Dr. Koza, I've served under Sepp Blatter, you know, so I have a lot of experience, which I don't want to die with this experience and take it with me to the graveyard. So I think, you know, there's a lot of value-added things I can add in football once I stopped. Because sometimes it's not good when you're in my status to be criticizing. I have served, you know, as a coach for this country 3 times, 4 times, you know, so I don't think I'll be a bad leader if I go to the amateur. The professionals, you cannot touch them. You know, Dr. Koza is doing a good job there. But I think amateur-wise, I think I can add value because if you look now, let's talk about white players. You know, when white players get to a certain age, like 15, 17, they stop. They don't want to go to the townships. You know, you go to certain schools, they don't play football. They don't want football. How do you, what do you think if you're a footballer? You know that no, we don't play football here.
But those are all the schools, though,
we
Jomo, that
only
are
play
black families are taking their kids to.
Yeah,
You know, so-called private schools, but they play rugby, cricket,
and that's it.
and there's no accommodation for football.
But why?
But why? How do we change
How
that?
come? You can change it. SAFA is a mother body. They can change it. They can go and speak to the Minister of Sports.
Yeah.
They can go to speak to the Minister of Education. And then they go with the one approach. So you play. You don't have to ask them. You just tell them. If you don't play, you also take rugby out. Take cricket out.
Why do you think they're not playing football?
I don't know. Maybe they think football is a totty game, you know, because sometimes they read in the papers. Because people don't go to the game. They just read, you know, what's happening. And some of the things is not true. Things maybe that happened long time ago. Some of these things don't happen in rugby. Let's be realistic and honest. There's never been a fight in rugby. There's never been the banning of stadiums in rugby. You know,
Stampedes.
there's no stampedes and so forth. So those are some of the perceptions. Some are real, which we need to go straight into it and fix it.
But at schools, though, I mean, you're looking at a situation when you were playing, whether it was Stuart Lilly, Mike Lambert, the days of Mike Rowbotham, whether it was Jimmy Joubert. There was countless names of people. Peter Ballack is the most famous white goalkeeper for Kaizer Chiefs that was there, whether it was Wade du Plessis, it doesn't matter, Gavin Lane, they were there. You can go on and on and on. But now, you speak of Michael Morton.
There's a few, man. There's a few. It's
You know,
not good. It's not good.
It's
not good.
yeah, it's a
It's not
problem.
good. It's not good. It's a problem. We need to bring out those white spectators into our football.
They come out when it used to be the Vodacom Challenge and Manchester United
Yeah.
were coming.
No, I was
Man
getting
City
into
was
that.
coming.
If you look at, you can take Pogba and take Zwane and put them in a shopping center and say they are signing autographs. Just have a look where you're going to have a longer queue. Pogba. They don't know Zwane. They'll ask, who's this one? You know, and it's a shame. You know, that at 3 o'clock when Chiefs is playing Pirates, Manchester United is playing Manchester City. You cannot bring those people. They are going to stay at home. And after that, there's Liverpool. After that, so you can't expect white spectators and Indian spectators and some of the color spectators to come and watch our football, because they have football in the doorsteps in front of them, and it's good football. Make no mistakes. It's great football. The atmosphere, you don't even want to leave your chair when you're watching the English football. But it's possible when you're watching two teams here from somewhere. Maybe you go out 10 times
Yeah, fall asleep.
to go and smoke, or and then come back. So that's why I said to you that earlier on, we need to make it a family sport. In England, this is family. And in England, I know we have a reputation here. There are no fences. These big fences to cage the monkeys and cage the lions. It's open there. They put security. Maybe some of those things we should look into, because if you put a cage, you put a big fence in front of our people, maybe kuyalapha man. Kurafu yabona bafake ne-fence lapha ama-barbed wire. You go there, you lay barbed wire and so forth. And also, sometimes we had unfortunate things which happened, people dying here, but they also died in England.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So but they learn from those experiences.
Yes, I think we should, a lot of things we should. My main concern, Robert, We club owners, we don't discuss enough football. We don't discuss football.
What do you discuss though? Because you have these meetings that I always wonder what happens besides, chairman going there, having meatballs and drumsticks and joking and shaking hands.
No.
What-
We sometimes we discuss football, but I want us to get deeper into football. We have a problem of referees now.
Yeah.
You know that in January, we're all in trouble with referees. December, January is trouble.
Why?
That's the question I want to ask. If you are a football person, you sit at home and say, but why January and December is trouble here? You know it's trouble. December, January is trouble.
Is there match fixing?
I don't know.
But you're in the NFD though, you should know.
Well-
They say that's the biggest problem is there, of referees being bought.
I don't know buying, but hey, it's trouble there. Hey, it's trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Not consistent enough, the referees. Giving diabolical decisions. Diabolical. I don't talk. Because,
But you must talk.
no, I don't. I've come to a point in my life at my age, you look at things. I can tell you, if I was the president of SAFA, I would put people in all the games the referees are in. That little cent, I make sure that if a referee makes a mistake, he doesn't go for 4 games. There was one guy who went for 4 games, but it was December. So why you 4 games? December. They said 4 weeks. Yeah, they said 4 weeks, but December is closed. So it didn't serve 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there was no football.
But you serve 4 weeks.
And then what do you do? I've never had a yellow card in my life as a player and as a owner.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make one young little boy who's crazy famous by giving me a yellow card. I just keep quiet. First time in my life, I walked into the dressing room. We lost it was a draw with somebody. The guy was so bad. He was so bad. I don't fight with referees. I don't comment about it. But this one was so bad. And after that, they are bad, some of them. I tell you, I don't know where they get them. Some of them are very, very good. Some of them are so bad when you see him warming up there, you say, oh, I'm dead, he's going to kill me, I know for sure. For sure, he's got a knife for me, he's going to kill me. And sometimes I'm right, it happens. I don't know why, I don't want to talk about them because you talk about them, the next week they hit you.
No, but that's...
What do you solve? What do you solve if you talk?
But you've had Operation Dribble before. Did that solve anything?
No.
Nothing.
Nah, couldn't.
So then it was a waste of time. It was a useless exercise.
We need the technical people like Natasha, they must show the strong arm on referees. They must take action.
But why aren't people like Errol Sweeney, who's been a referee, utilized? Or Ace Ngobo, or some of the top guys that have been there, Professor?
Yeah, but I think it's politics more, but you can involve people like that. But do you think once they are in there as well, when they fly around 5-star hotel, you think they'll react? Allowance. Sometimes these allowances, this 5-star hotel, this nice food, the pap and this big, doesn't help. It makes them to change. He's away, he's flying, he's got a car at the airport. So what do you expect? You expect a poor guy to go and fight?
But you, as a president, hopefully, of football then, you will make sure that if they're sitting in 5 stars, you make it 3 stars.
It's
So
still a
you,
hotel, abanye bethu, Roberti. Hey, it takes 5 years before you sleep in a 3-star hotel. Bangatseke Poli. So now we are Mbuyisela.
but the problem has to be fixed, though.
It must be fixed, but how? That's why I say we need to sit down and talk football. Won't it be nice if the club chairmen, the ones who are spending so much money and time and everything, sit in one room with referees? And the president of SAFA and the president of PSL, let's talk football. We don't fight, we talk football. Why did you do this on this day?
But should we not be getting to a stage now? I know that globally, maybe it was, I think it's Australia, where they've allowed referees to do a post match to say, you gave a red card to so and so. Why did you give them a?
We should do that.
Should we do that so that there's more accountability? Victor Gomes, we saw you do this. Victor Hlungwane, you
should
did
do
this.
that.
Bongo, you did
Referees,
this.
we should do that.
Yeah.
There must be a post-mortem because so what? He's got me losing a game, which is they lost 3 points, and then so what? Next week he's going to judge another game. He'll be nicer next weekend, and then he meets me somewhere again. Then he hammers me again. So I think we should have a post-mortem. That's my belief. And I think I don't know how they do it. I think the technical SAFA and the president, when they hear people were crying like this a month ago, 2 months ago about refugees, the president should call them and talk to them and say, if I hear one thing again, we take action. Not 4 weeks, not 3 weeks.
They took 48 hours after there was a disclosure for them to then change the refereeing pattern, where some of the top referees from the PSL were shifted to the championship. Victor Hlungwane did the first game, Ajax and TS, and then Victor Gomes, Victor Hlungwane, Kongo, they were all assigned then to the weekend games. So they were given those assignments, whether or not that works, because now it almost looks like when you give the lower division the top refs, and then the PSL teams are now complaining because they've got the weaker ref. Then
So it means there's not enough referees who are good enough. That boils down to that. Because if you give the top 4, what about the top 4 at the bottom? It's the same. It's the same. There is trouble there. You play a team from Devon. You're playing a team, and they bring a referee and a linesman from Devon. And who you fighting with? Eagles behind you. What chance have you got? You don't have a chance. You must fight. You don't have a chance. So even the bottom 4, they should do the same. Bring the Premier League referees.
let me change tack very quickly. I know that when it comes to the business side of you, you've always been, I remember you've always said you're a risk taker. You love taking risks. A business comes through, you go into it, it fails, it's okay. You dust yourself off, you move on to the next. What are some of the latest business ventures that you're in? I know at some point you were quite heavy in the diamond business and so on. Is that still something that excites you, mining?
Yeah, we're still involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still involved. We have decided on the business side to go under the radar. We're still involved on the business side. As you know, we have a license for a radio talk show for 24 hours sports. But we have a problem with the company called Slam Dunk, which has lost the case. They lost the tender, they lost the case, they now appealed, which has got Carol Manana and Thomas Quenat as owners. So I think it's got nothing to do with them fighting ICASA. It's because they're trying to make us not open so that maybe we lose hope and then they carry on. But we will definitely open. We have decided to open the station, maybe 6 months or. Yeah, we're busy now with it. They can carry on with their appeal. We will carry on. If they win the appeal, it's fine. We can sit down again, and also we go the same routes they went. So
Back to the court.
yeah, we go to court. We lose. We go to appeal. We win. But it's just like that until 20 years.
I know that we can't get into the merits of the case, but you've got the license?
We've got a license.
And you can start operating
Yes,
immediately?
we can start operating.
As what? As an online radio station, as an FM?
Online radio station.
Online radio station. So you've booked your talent, you've booked the studios?
We haven't. We're starting now this year. We said 2020 we have to start getting people and so forth.
And what's your vision around that? I mean, is it around live sports? Is it around...
Live sport,
Yeah.
overseas sport, all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
24 hours.
24 hours, yeah.
But are you worried about the case though? Because
No, I'm not.
as far as my memory, it's been going, it's been dragging on
we,
for a while.
we
now.
were too nice to say, no, let's leave until it's properly finished.
Yeah.
But we can see they're just wasting time, so we want to start.
So they're delaying you.
They're delaying us purposely.
Wow. That's one aspect. Radio station 24 hours. I mean, any other business venture that you're currently in, that you're starting up, because you're an innovator. I heard you talking about trending earlier and I almost fell off the chair. I'm like, hey, this man is in tune with life these days. For you?
Now we will be launching something very spectacular in the country. It's called
Yeah.
Voice. Audio Voice. The company is called Trinity Audio Africa. You can read it, if you have an app on your phone can read any book for you. Children can study while listening to the audio. from your phone. If you buy Sunday Times, you driving, you're lazy to read, you just connect and that's it. And then you drive. It will read all the pages for you, the headlines, everything.
Wow.
So we'll be launching it here in South Africa.
Soon.
Yeah, very soon, very, very soon. I love doing that.
New ideas.
Yeah, I love doing that. You know, I just came back from Israel.
Yeah.
I was very shocked to see the back page of a major paper in Israel. There's a story about me in Hebrew. I don't read until my partner showed me. Said, hey, there's a big story about you in Israel.
Yeah.
How do you get into Israel, a big story like this? I was in the back page of the Israel paper talking about me.
Good things, I hope.
Yeah, it's all good things, you know. So far, it's very good things about me. It was very, very humbling when I saw it.
Yeah.
The reason why is because my friend, who I played with at New York Cosmos, he's a big businessman in Israel.
Oh.
So he met me, and he was so excited. So he started telling stories about me, blah blah, you know, when we're in New York, which was good. It opened doors for me again.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh. And in the few minutes that we have, I just want to quickly touch on something that'll be happening pretty soon. Soweto Derby. Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates. It's always a talk of the town. We kind of touched a little bit on a few of the players that were there. What for you is still attractive about the Soweto Derby? You've got, I don't know, I'll have to check the history books. I haven't had time to. 2 German coaches sitting on either side of the benches, coaching the 2 Soweto teams. What's your thinking there?
I think it will be very interesting. It will be a tactical game,
Yeah.
too tactical. As you know, the Germans are rigid, you know, in their discipline, in their tactics. You have to keep to the system. You cannot go across. You know, if you're a left midfielder, you cannot go across, end up at right midfield with the ball. So they're very strict, they're very disciplined, and they've done well, both of them. They've done very, very well, both of them. They must be complimented. It's going to be very interesting. Pirates doing well, Chiefs doing well. I think this will be the best derby in the last 5 years, this one.
But would it be open or would it be a goals-orientated? I know Chiefs get criticized as far as their defense is concerned. Pirates have strengthened up. You've got, I mean, Ekpe has just recently extended his contract for another 2 years. You've got Wayne Sandilands on the other side as well, continues to be the goalkeeper. So I'm just talking from a defensive perspective. Eric Matau scoring goals as if he's a striker. Now, overhead, bicycle kicks, you name it. He's enjoying life there at Kaizer Chiefs right now. But your overall, just if you look at the sum of the players that they have, what would you say is likely to stand out from the derby?
I think Pirates are very quick.
Yeah.
Very quick. I think, with due respect, I think they'll be too quick for the Chiefs' defense. They're very, very quick. You know, the little I've noticed, and the little I've noticed about Pirates is that they start at a high pace, high pace. And then late second half, they fade.
Yeah.
Because they start at a high tempo. Unbelievable tempo they start. So, very interesting, because the Chiefs' defense will definitely be tested. You know, and Chiefs will test Pirates in midfield because Chiefs are very strong in midfield. They will test Pirates there. You know, they're very strong in midfield, and also the two big strikers up front of Chiefs, especially this.
Nokovic.
Yeah, Nokovic. So it will be a very interesting game. You know, I think this for the first time in 5 years, this is going to be the interesting game because Pirates have a chance to get closer to Chiefs. So there's no friendship there now anymore. There's no we'll meet you after the game. It's wafa wafa, that's it.
Give me your honest take, and because it's family, and so much was said about it. Umshana Rulani Mgwen. What should he do next? What should his next project be?
I think his next project is to stay next to the German and learn. That's it.
As an assistant coach?
Yeah, he should stay there. I think, my own opinion, was too early. I wished him the best of luck, you know, but I thought it was too early. Pirate is too big. He needs to be groomed properly. Because, you know, at that age, you end up having a problem because you want to prove so much. You also want to prove that I'm the boss. You know, when you're young, you want to do that. You know, when a player does something like this, you think he doesn't respect you because you are nearly his age. You know, you become so aggressive. You drop right players for sneezing in front of you, things like that. And then you say, no, boom, out of the team. So I thought he's got potential, big potential. But I thought he was throwing a deep end too early. You know, too early they pushed him there. And I think it took its toll on him. But he must stay as an assistant coach. That's my advice. Stay closer to that guy. You can learn from him. He's the guy as coach in Europe. We can learn from him. That's why we want our players to go to Europe.
Sure.
So stay next to him. Don't be embarrassed. You were a caretaker coach and that's it. You were a caretaker coach. The whole country knows you were a caretaker coach.
Taking care of business.
Yes, for time being.
Yeah.
It's a temporary thing. So go back to your position.
But do you think, given the pressures of the modern day game, that he would be allowed to? It was almost immediately before he left to go to Liverpool, because annually he does his thing at Melwood. Already people were, and I said it to him offline, was that the situation he faces is a bit difficult because if Pirate scores and the cameras are on him and they say no, but he's not reacting, he's not happy, ukwatile, he's still holding grudges. Or if he celebrates, he's just doing it for the cameras, he's just, you know. So either way, I mean, there was even a shot of him sitting alone. I think the players had just either gone off to the change room or something. And already people are having words with that. Would him going, let's say, to another team away from Pirates not be a solution? Or do you think that the groundwork and the grounding needs to be at Orlando Pirates?
If I was advising him, I should say stay at Pirates. People will talk.
Yeah.
People celebrated when Mandela was released. And then later on, people changed and said Mandela is a sellout. So if they can talk about Mandela, who are you? Who is he? He's nothing. You know, so stay and learn. It's about you, it's not about them. It's not about the people pointing fingers. That's my attitude. So I don't care. You can point and I don't care. Singena has put up. So he must stay there and learn because he's got a bright future. But I can foresee him not staying and joining another team. I can see it. I can see it from...
But would you advise him against it? I know you've said no.
I said no now.
Yeah, you said no now. But if he insists?
He's over 30. He's over 30. He can make his own decision. He can only say don't do it. But if he does it, you don't get involved. People must make decisions sometimes on their own.
Sure.
Well, as we wrap up, it's so nice and humbling when you come to a home and you find history here, because the great Dali Tambo used to do a show called People of the South, and I was like, wow, I remember these. Well, as Thursday Night Live, we don't have cushions or pillows as yet.
Okay.
But you continue to uphold the spirit of being one of the sons of the soil of the people of the South. And I want to give you back your own cushion
Thank you very much.
on behalf of all the people of the South. So thanks, Dali, for giving me the permission to, when you renew your vows.
Yeah.
Yes, we've just renewed those vows.
Thank you, bro.
And all the best.
Thank you. Good
Thank you
night.
so much.
Okay, bro.
Stay strong.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamason. Be part of the discussion, be part of the movement, be part of what we have on Marawa TV. Simply go onto the YouTube channel, Marawa TV, and of course, click on that subscribe button. Remember all the time, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Give us your comments, give us your thumbs up, give us your like. You'll like it more. Big ideas coming up in 2020.